Hello everybody and welcome. I'm Hunter Newby and we're here at the Voice Peering Forum in San Francisco, June 2008, and I'm joined by Ms. Heather Olson, who is the manager of mobile services for Telecom Italia Sparkle in North America. Is that correct?
Correct.
Heather, thanks for joining us. Please give me just a little bit of a description of what it is that you do for Telecom Italia Sparkle.
Well, Telecom Italia Sparkle recently launched an entire suite of mobile services products, including SMS, MMS, SCCP signaling, virtual home environment, roaming hub, SMS and MMS transit services for mobile operators, messaging aggregators, ISPs, and MNCs. So in my role, I'm responsible for the business development for our entire suite of services for the North American and Caribbean region.
What would be an analogous service provider to Telecom Italia Sparkle in this instance? Somebody that provides similar service, just to give people a bearing, a point of reference.
Okay, well, first of all, there's not too many wholesale mobile services provider that offer the entire suite of services like Telecom Italia Sparkle does. But a similar offering, I would say BICS, Belgacom International Carrier Services, has a similar product offering. I know VeriSign offers some of the services, messaging and roaming that TI Sparkle does. I believe KPN and Telefonica as well. There's a few other providers that are strictly concentrated in the messaging space, like Mblocks and Sybase 365. But like I said, there's few wholesale operators like Sparkle that offer such a broad suite of services like we do. Part of that's because we own Telecom Italia Mobile in Brazil and Italy, and we're able to piggyback on a lot of our roaming agreements.
The interconnects.
The interconnects and the SS7 connections, the roaming agreements that the team has.
So essentially the service is leveraging those existing interconnects for other people that want to essentially build pieces like that.
Yes, for a lot of the services, yes, definitely. Right. For signaling, we offer SCCP signaling. We have connectivity to over 650 mobile operators. Roaming, we have over 540 roaming partners. So we are definitely one of the top and most competitive players in terms of coverage because of that.
Who are the typical customers, or what people are looking for services like that, the non-traditional mobile service providers, of course? Well,
I would say specifically these services, for example, the like the SMS hub, the MMS hub, the inbound outbound roaming solutions are great for new entrants to the market because it takes a very long time. I would say 10 to 15 years to establish 400 to 500 roaming agreements, and this is a turnkey solution. So
speed to market.
As well as established operators. So for AT&T, Verizon Wireless, I would say MMS is still a fairly, it's not a very mature service yet in the North American marketplace. So I could, you can offer the MMS Hub, which is a new service developed with the GSMA to even a larger operator.
So this is resolution to endpoints on the other operators' networks for the purposes of those services.
Yes.
Like an SMS or an MMS.
Yes.
Sort of like a mapping, if you will,
yes,
or a database of all those endpoints. So you're providing a gateway service to others through yourself to get to those points.
Exactly. And for our hubbing services, we also provide, the gateway back. So if, for example, with an MMS hub, an operator would be able to send outbound multimedia messages to 200 plus operators on our network, and then in turn be compensated for inbound messages to their network from our 200 plus partners. So it's a hubbing model that benefits every single member of the hub.
So from a business development standpoint, that's your role, that's what you're doing. What are some of the things that you see in the marketplace in the region that you focus on, North America and the Caribbean, that are sort of driving the market for services, growth, new business, new entrants, or the stronger relationships, as you stated, with your existing interconnects? Is there sort of a balance between the two, or one greater than the other?
I would say some of the drivers or the needs for these services. Smaller operators, especially in the Caribbean, that don't have the leverage to, to sign these these the GSM roaming agreements, they're pushed to the back burner.
Mm-hmm.
So it might take them 5 years to sign a roaming agreement with a large operator in Italy or Germany or the US. So this is again instant access for them. Like I said before, MVNOs and new entrants to the market. This is a turnkey solution.
Mm-hmm.
Another driver I would say is the since voice revenues, which were once a large source and a growing, it was the major growth driver for years in the industry, and since voice revenues are growing at a decreasing level over the next few years, I would say the need to really push contents and applications is another driver. So when I say contents, I mean ringtones,
other features,
music, and applications, premium voting.
Right.
So it's another need, and regulation, of course, is putting downward pressure on prices. Except, for example, the EU is regulating the roaming environment in Europe, which is taking a big bite out of operators.
Right.
Their once beloved source of roaming revenues and margins. So there's several different factors, I would say.
So what about video over your mobile network, or any in general? This is more just a broader sort of question. We can certainly see it in some instances on certain mobile operators' networks, and it's also regionally based, I guess due in large part to available capacity. You certainly need fiber to the tower in particular areas to carry video signals. Certainly anything that's live or streamed even that's compressed still requires a lot of capacity. I'm assuming that somewhere on the Telecom Italia mobile network that exists, but it can't necessarily be transcended across all regions due to the limitations of the local network capacity. Is some type of video service, I mean, MMS notwithstanding that it would be able to deliver video clips, but a true, let's call it television service, that might not be a good analogy. Is that a service that you offer today, or is it something that you think that you'll get to?
You mean more of IPTV and not video telephony, because we do offer video telephony.
Right, video telephony is in that camp. It could be that, or
okay,
it could
so
be IPTV. What do you have in regards to video?
In regard to video telephony, we can offer, for example, if you are a Canadian wireless operator, we can offer you international video telephony on from a long distance perspective. So that service runs over ISDN clear channel circuits. And in a roaming environment, it's a 3G service. So basically, we can offer this service to over 60 roaming partners worldwide. So, for example, if you sign up for the Telecom Italia outbound roaming service and you roam on our 63G partners networks, you can use video telephony while you're roaming.
Interesting.
So, as far as IPTV goes, that is, I believe, on par for 2009. It's an IPX service, so we have not fully developed that service yet.
So very interesting. So what else do you see sort of on the horizon in terms of mobile and mobile data, whether it's Telecom Italia or just in general? What do you think is going to be coming down the road in the next year or two that will have a significant impact and change the way people use their mobile devices?
Well, I would say IPX, which should be fully developed in 2009, which is basically an enhancement of GRX, and you can offer IMS-based services, IPTV, push-to-talk, instant messaging online. I imagine that to be a main driver for the future. So I guess more database applications, because like I said before, mobile operators are having to look for new opportunities for revenue margin growth, since obviously because of the downward pressure on the voice prices. So they'll be looking to innovate and look for partners that can help them offer these services to customers.
Interesting. Very cool. Well, we'll keep our eyes open that one too. Heather, just like to say thanks a lot for joining us here today, and hopefully we can catch up again sometime.
Sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.